So today we're going to talk about the fact that you are launching the latest version of NAKIVO's backup and replication solution. So the first place to start, I know sometimes updates are literally just updates, little tweaks, and other times they're sort of completely new versions. So what is this one, or is it somewhere between the two?
I think this one is rather the completely new version because we're adding a few major features to the release. And I think the biggest features, the two biggest features of this release are the bare metal recovery and the malware scan, backup malware scan. So it's rather the major update rather than some minor improvements.
Okay, yeah, and so you mentioned that the major two innovations. So in more detail, perhaps we can cover the bare metal recovery piece first, if you can talk us through that.
Definitely. So our customers been asking us for the bare metal recovery feature for quite a long time, and the reason for that is that a lot of servers, a lot of workloads in the customers' environments, they remain non-virtualized. They remain physical, and they would not like to move them to virtual environment or to the cloud. They would like to keep those workloads physical, and they've been asking us to release this feature. So that's what we came up with. This feature supports Windows and Linux physical servers, and it provides the ability to back up the physical server and then recover it to the bare metal using a bootable media. So basically, it's more of a classic thing that a lot of vendors do, and we add this capability to support our customers who still have the non-virtualized physical and bare metal workloads.
And in terms, just intrigued there as to how many customers fall into that. Do you have any feeling for how many of the customers are in that particular situation as opposed to the alternative?
I cannot provide any numbers, but I think the share, well, out of the customers who do have physical environments and physical servers and feel the need to back those up, approximately a half of them would need to recover them back to the bare metal, whether like the other part, the other half would be fine to recover them to virtual environment or to the cloud. And that capability, we already provide that. So they, in the previous versions, customers could still take their physical server, back it up and recover to the virtual environment. And now we are covering the demand for the other half of the physical customers who need to recover it to the bare metal.
Okay, and then the other feature you mentioned is the backup, the malware scan. So is that to do with everyone's under fire from ransomware, etc.? Is it part of that, or is it just a more general new feature? Just talk us through the thinking behind it.
Yeah, it's pretty effective against the ransomware because the malware scan, basically you can back up your workload, your server or your virtual machine, and then before you do recovery to production, you can connect it to the antivirus, to the scan server, and scan the contents of the VM or a server in the isolated environment to make sure that it's virus free, because well, you never know when your machine got infected, and if you have a malware incident, it might be very useful to use this sort of a scanning before rolling out data from the backup to production, because the data inside the backup can be infected as well. So that's protection, and we want to provide this capability to our customers in response to their needs and in response to the growing demand for the backup solutions to protect against malware, to protect against ransomware, etc.
Okay, and in terms of other additions, I think there's a direct recovery from tape. So that would be good to understand what would be, again, the thinking why you've introduced that, in presumably in response to what customers were asking you. But
yeah, definitely. Well, I can tell you that all of the features we are rolling out were more demanded by our customers, because we maintain close cooperation with our customers and our partners. and we always try to hear their feedback. We try to gather the statistics. We try to do the surveys. We try to ask them what they need, what they want, and we also gather the statistics from our support team. So basically, we are getting an inflow of data points from different sources, and we are trying to follow the desires and the requirements of our customers. So yeah, the direct recovery from tape is also something that's very useful for our customers who do backup to the tape devices, because it allows them to save time. And when they really need to recover the data, they don't have to go tape to disk. They just go directly tape to disk, which is tape to production. And if they, well, assuming they don't need the malware scan, they can just recover from tape directly, and this would save them a lot of time.
So in terms of you say obviously a lot of what you're doing is in response to the customer feedback, and I'm wondering, is it particularly because they're saying that ransomware is a major issue for them, or are there other things that are, that concern them that has led you to introduce these new features?
Ransomware is definitely important for our customers, and we are also following, besides that, we are also following the general trends, like what the competition is doing, what the analysts are saying, and we're just following the news from the market. Like, all right, this huge company got attacked, and they lost their data, and that company got attacked. So there is a lot of events connected with ransomware and malware and cybercrime in general. So I would say that this is an upward trend. This is a sad trend, but it's reality, and we have to face it. That the cybercrime is evolving, and the cyber criminals are inventing new ways to get hold of your data, to try to pull money out of your business, and even destroy your business. So this malware can effectively put you out of business if you don't protect properly. So,
and I believe I believe as well as the sort of major new features, you've introduced what you call a couple of improvements, and that's direct connect and a new platform support. So can you just run us through each of those additions?
Yes, so Direct Connect is a great thing for MSPs. It allows them to connect to their remote customers without the need to establish a VPN connection. And we're just adding the support for physical devices, physical servers, to the Direct Connect feature, which we did already have in the previous versions. So now the MSPs who are using the NAKIVO Backup Replication to protect their remote customers, they can connect those remote customers including their virtual and physical environments, and they can skip using the VPN connection to those customers. So it's just we add the capability to connect the remote physical environments for the MSPs. And I think this is very important because MSPs are actually a big segment of the market, and MSPs are technically educated and technically demanding. And we would like to do more with MSP market, with MSP, I would say MSP partners, because usually this type of partners, they serve the smallest, the most vulnerable customers. The SMBs expertise, they do not have the IT administrators and IT staff. They usually resort to, having contracts with MSPs, with local providers. And we feel very responsible for the lower segment of the market, for those SMB customers. And usually they are protected and covered by the MSPs. That's why we always try to listen carefully to the MSP feedback that we are receiving. And the Direct Connect is one of the features we are rolling out for the update to the Direct Connect. That's one of the updates we are rolling out to make MSPs happier.
Okay, and in terms of the other sort of news from yourselves recently, I think you couple of customer wins which look quite interesting. So I don't know how much, I know sometimes customers can be reluctant to, to share the extent of the problems they had before you came in and helped them with them. But I think you've got NCFC, is it finance based in Nepal? So are you able to tell us a little bit about them as a customer?
Yeah, sure. So that's the bank. That's the bank from Nepal, from Kathmandu, and they recently started using NAKIVO to protect their data. And they run in a virtualized environment. They run in VMware, and they ran the financial, let's say, financial software, and they keep the data, the databases and transactions and everything on their production system. So recently they started using NAKIVO Backup Replication to protect their environment. They had a POC, and then they ended up implementing it in production because they were happy with the performance. They were happy with the recovery capabilities. And basically, we just help this bank to stay in business in case they have some disaster. We protect their applications, we protect their data, and they are using the flash boot capability to recover data as quickly as possible if they really need to bring things up and running quickly. And they are very happy because according to them, NAKIVO saves a lot of money and by providing the rapid recovery capabilities and reliable backup.
Okay, and then if we can hop continents, I think it's in Texas, the other customer you've talked about. So that's Water Control and Improvement District number 17, a slightly weird title for the company or organization, but can you tell us again, what they're doing with their storage?
Yeah, so basically this is the non-profit organization supplying water to the local customers in Texas, and they also have a virtualized environment, and their servers, the virtual servers, run the applications to control the water supply. So with their software, they do like control the water flow, the water reserves, the quality of the water, and they need those things up and running because water is a 24/7 supply, and the customers they need to be sure that they have the water coming to them, like it's of a proper quality, etc., etc. And this company is a non-profit. It's a utility organization for the local community in Texas. So with NAKIVO, they do protect that environment, and they do protect the mission critical software that allows them to control the water supply. And what's technically interesting about this customer, they have integrated NAKIVO software with the Synology NAS. So basically, they've installed NAKIVO on a Synology NAS, and they turn it into the backup appliance. They have a pretty good NAS device. They roll out NAKIVO on the NAS device. That's very easy to do. That can be done with just a few clicks of the mouse, because we have the app on the App Center. And by the way, this is a very important differentiator for NAKIVO, because most of the competitors, probably even all of the competitors of NAKIVO, cannot do that. They cannot run directly on the NAS device. So with NAKIVO, they have a backup appliance based on the Synology NAS and NAKIVO Backup Replication inside. They protect the software and the data for the water supply, and basically they are happy because NAKIVO provides a good price, and they have a high quality backup and restore for a fraction of the money that they would pay to another vendor.
Okay, so I mean, clearly NAKIVO, you've been very busy, but I'm going to be inquiring also as to, I say you've been occupied now, but as plans, looking further ahead. Again, I understand you might not be able to, give away any massive secrets, but in terms, can you give us some hint as to what else might be coming from yourselves, whether it's during the rest of this year or into other particular things you'll be looking to add to the technology solutions, any developing of the company, etc.? Just anything you can share with us be good.
Yeah, I would say we want to do a lot more with the databases, like with Oracle database. We want to do a lot more in the monitoring space. So IT monitoring of the virtual and physical environments, more reporting and capabilities like that. That's definitely something we are looking for, and that's definitely something where we apply some efforts. And we would also like to introduce the capabilities for file level backup into NAKIVO software, as well as some file system indexing, like more advanced indexing capabilities. So we would like to get more technologically advanced for the enterprise market with Oracle database, and we would like to offer much better and higher quality monitoring capabilities from NAKIVO.
Okay, it's been lovely to chat to you and catch up with you again. And thanks for telling us about what's going on at NAKIVO. But for now, Veniamin, thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Philip. Thanks for your time.